Before Feng Shui masters disturb anyone's ancestral grave, they always taste the soil first by putting it in their mouths. Only if the soil tastes normal do they signal their assistants to open the coffin. But that day, Jack encountered something he couldn't mess with. After tasting the soil, his expression immediately turned grave. Looking ahead, he discovered the bare tombstone didn't even have a name on it. The Feng Shui master felt deeply unsettled and asked his employer who had chosen this burial site for his grandfather. The employer explained that his grandfather was a war hero from World War II. A monk named Fox had selected this auspicious location for his grandfather's burial. Since grave robbers were rampant at the time, the monk kept the burial low-key and didn't inscribe any identifying information on the tombstone. Despite the employer's reasonable explanation, Jack decided to abandon the job. When his companions questioned why he'd give up a deal that could make them all rich, Jack explained that in over 30 years in this business, he'd never encountered such a place heavy with evil energy. Based on his careful observations while climbing the mountain, he determined this was the perfect spot for raising ghosts. If they forced open the grave, they'd all lose their lives. But Jack's companions still wouldn't give up this money-making opportunity, so they all returned to discuss strategies with the employer. The employer shared his own troubles. Ever since his grandfather's burial, strange incidents had plagued the family. His father became paralyzed for no reason. Then his brother inexplicably developed mental illness. The whole family moved to America, thinking distance from grandfather would bring peace, but they couldn't escape their misfortune. His wife had 2 unexplained miscarriages, and now they'd finally had a son, but the child had cried non-stop since birth. Even America's best hospitals couldn't find the cause. If this continued, the employer himself would soon be in danger. So the employer found psychic Lisa, who could tell from one look at the baby's pupils that there was a problem with the family grave. She determined that grandfather's soul was suffering torment and taking it out on his descendants. Since she wasn't skilled in Feng Shui and grave digging, she found partners Jack and the mortician. When everyone was at their wits' end, Lisa proposed a win-win solution. Perform the exorcism ritual while opening the grave simultaneously. After Jack selected an auspicious date and found 5 gravediggers born in the year of the pig, as Lisa required, the ceremony began frantically as the grave was gradually excavated. Soon a coffin emerged, and several people worked together to lift it out. They immediately instructed the mortician to burn the coffin, but then disaster struck. One gravedigger, hoping to find valuable burial goods, dug with his shovel and unearthed a small snake. Startled, he struck down with his shovel, but the snake let out a woman's piercing scream. Suddenly, the sky changed dramatically. Darkness fell. Storm clouds gathered. Lightning flashed.